Shaye Archer looked around her empty apartment and felt a ripple of excitement and fear run through her. This was one of those big moments in a young woman's life, when she left home and struck out on her own. But for Shaye, it wasn't just big. It was monumental. Are you sure you're ready? Doubt sneaked into her thoughts, as it had since she'd made an offer to purchase the apartment last month. She shook her head and pushed the negative thoughts aside. She'd mulled over this and little else for the past year. She had her bachelor's degree in hand, her private investigator's license issued, her business license, 3 years of experience, and the financial means to start her own agency. It was time. Every decision she'd made for the last 6 years had been about getting to this moment. You can do this. She smiled. That was more like it. Now, all she needed was her furniture and clothes and bathroom supplies, and a host of other things coming her way on a moving truck, and she'd be in business. Literally. She cast a critical eye at the front room of the apartment. It was a good-sized room, and its original hardwood floors, brick accent wall, and fireplace gave it a homey feeling. It was supposed to be a living room, but Shaye had other plans for the space. Clients would feel comfortable in this cozy room, and Shaye would feel comfortable having them here, rather than traipsing them through the apartment to the spare bedroom. No. This was definitely the best option for her office. All she had to do was find the right furniture for the space, and she was good to go. A horn sounded out front, and she jumped, then immediately grew frustrated with herself for being so touchy. You're in the French Quarter. There's going to be a lot of noise. Much more than she was used to when tucked away in the back bedroom of her adoptive mother's huge historical home in the Garden District. The only sounds that drifted into her bedroom there were made by the lawn crew who arrived every Wednesday morning to work their magic on the beautifully landscaped yard. The noise level in the heart of New Orleans would be both higher and different. In a couple of weeks, she'd be adjusted to the nuances of her new home, and everything would be back to normal. She just needed to be patient. Not her strong point. She headed to the front door and swung it open as the moving truck eased up to the curb. Her initial plan had been to throw her clothes in a duffel bag and a couple of boxes and haul it all over in her SUV. But her mother, Corinne, had insisted Shaye take her bedroom furniture and the couch and tables from her sitting room. Shaye couldn't find a good argument against that plan. She'd chosen all the furniture herself, and it was good quality. It would last her a long time, and taking it with her allowed her to eliminate one more thing from her long list of things to do. Hence, the need for the moving truck. 2 young, athletic men jumped out of the cab and rolled up the back door of the truck. "This is a great location," one of them said, and smiled. "Thanks," she replied, but didn't return the smile. He'd been trying to flirt with her since they arrived at her mother's house to load, but Shaye didn't want to give him any indication that she would consider him an option. Men were at the top of her list of things not to do. Not now. Maybe not ever. The idea of sharing her daily life and thoughts, especially her past, with someone other than Corinne caused a rise of panic in her that hadn't diminished yet. She wasn't sure it ever would. One step at a time. Shaye could hear Eleanor's words echoing in her mind, and as much as they annoyed her, she also knew her psychiatrist's sentiment was right. She sighed. It was beyond frustrating when things you didn't like were also your reality. "Where do you want the living room furniture?" one of the movers asked. She directed him inside and showed him the dining area off the kitchen that would serve as living and dining. If it weren't for Corinne's forcing her to a table most evenings, Shaye would have eaten every meal curled up on the couch in front of a television. And now that she didn't have anyone else to consider, that's exactly what she planned to do.